As well as I lost track of time, I tried to stare through that blasted door. Any time he might enter through it, but he didn't. I lost time of the owls when something started to move. It was no being, not me, but the house. The last ounce of strength in its wooden box had run out. Slowly it started to collapse with me in it. I stared at the door. Either I should be stuck under masses of wood and stone, or I should face him, and probably not survive. The fire in the fireplace burnt much more rapidly now. I got to my feet. Slowly my bones screamed of pain and fear. He had beaten most of my strength and courage out of me with that one blow. My right leg wouldn't move properly, so I linked to the door. I heard his laughter somewhere downstairs. I breathed and then I sighed of pain. My body wouldn't take much more suffering. My brain felt panic when I heard his laughter again. The old house vibrated as he walked across the floor below. I knew now, as if I didn't known it before, that I had to meet a half-god that was utterly mad. I felt fear running up my spine, as a close chill from a window captured my attention. Slowly I moved towards it, hoping for an escape. He stood with the back against the house, with his giant hands stretched out his side, waiting for me to come out the main door. I didn't have a chance that way. I trembled, or was it the house? Slowly I went to the door and put my hand on the handle. I dropped the handle very fast. It was burning hot and left a burnt mark in my hand. I got back in the room a step, and then I threw myself to the door. It burst wide open, but I tumbled back in the room again. The whole staircase stood in flames. I felt the stench of burnt hair and flesh. Through the flames I saw Nadi's burning body. With a scream sank I down to my knees, and I heard his laughter through the window, and then he screamed through the sounds of the fire. "Come here, pussycat! Come to me! You've got nowhere else to go to!" Slowly I got up on my feet again. It was only a question of seconds before it was too late. I ran to the open window and opened it. He turned. "Pussycat, are you coming now?" I stared at him. No way, I thought to myself. The flames in the staircase looked twice as high as I turned back into the room. Still I had to cross it to the other end of the staircase. I ran and jumped over Nadi's body. I smashed the window at the same time as the staircase broke down. I fell, with glass pieces filling the air around me. I made myself into a little ball, and then the ground hit me. For a moment I lost all sense of the world. Then I got back to myself and up on my feet. My right leg was numb. I could hardly feel I was there. I looked down. My skirt was all trash, burnt up to my knees, and in the right ankle a glass piece stuck out. I grabbed hold of it and tried to pull it out. It was stuck. I felt as if I was going to faint for a moment. I pulled myself together and looked around. I heard him scream, "Come to me, pussy, there is no other way out." Utterly mad, that god, I thought. If he hadn't, I would have been caught now. I grabbed hold of a stick and used it as a crutch to move into the wood behind the house. I realized I wouldn't get far. Instead, I crawled under a bush and covered myself with leaves and branches. I heard him scream in disbelief when the house finally collapsed. "Pussy, Pussy, no! Oh no!" I heard him sneer and cry. He sat there and sighed and moaned all through the night, with me sleeping about 30 meters away. In the early morning, when the sun rose, I heard him whisper, "Goodbye, Pussy, goodbye." I heard him walk away. The house was still burning. I was quite stiff when I got to my feet. Slowly I went to the stable to find my pony on the floor, and not his horse. The head was hanging on the wall. Underneath it hung the tail, all covered in blood. Underneath, on the floor, the carcass was laying, brutally slaughtered. I felt sick, nearly threw up. But instead I went to Bastian, my pony, and knelt beside him. He breathed. I found no wounds. Probably had only been knocked out. I found a bucket with cold water and poured some onto Bastian's head. He shook his head and rose fast. I took the Tem and led him out. He seemed to be all right. I let him eat some hay, and in the meanwhile tried to pull the glass out of my foot again.